to the bad guy. Yeah, Chico. Yeah, Chico. You're talking to the bad guy. Toothpicking your eye. I'm that guy. Hey, yo. Look, something happened to these, something happened to you, okay?
What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy, Coach Bob McClellan, man, the SMACM world, man. Got a very special guest here, man. Please introduce yourself.
Man, I'm Milton, Barney, Gulfport, Mississippi.
Man, what's going on, Mill, man? Glad you're here, man. So you know how we do it on this show, man. We give everybody their flowers, they just do, man. First of all, appreciate what you do for the youth and how you bringing them on the baseball field, which, you know, minorities normally don't play in this era now, and you changed the narrative on that and really show these kids they can go all over the region, all over the country. You took your Green Wave, your organization, all over the country, played in some World Series, man. Got these kids to see something besides the beach. You know,
Right.
that's just huge for me. I just love what you do for those kids, man. And then, you know, we did play ball together at Gulfport, man. We got some history together with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
And so definitely, man, just being a great teammate as well, man. And man, I'm just glad you came, man. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm happy to be here, man.
Absolutely, man. So let's get right into your journey, man. Let's start off in high school. Now, you played, first of all, your last name is Barney. I mean, that right there, the lineage, the history, the legacy, you knew you had to uphill because we got Bye-Bye Barney, we got Lynn Barney. We can keep going on and on about those people, your family. Let's just talk about Milton Barney, though, today. Let's go there. This is about you. Let's talk about your high school career, man. You played football and you played baseball. Talk about football first and then go into baseball as far as your high school career.
Man, so playing football, it was just, you got to play football. Your last name Barney. You can't not play football. Like, they ain't going to let you not play.
Right.
Man, high school football was great, man. I get a chance to play with two great quarterbacks, really three. So, you know, my first year playing, I played with you.
Right.
And, you know, we kind of did our thing. Then that next year after you left, we had Greg Anderson.
Yeah.
And, man, like,
arguably the best, in my opinion.
Hey, look,
one of the best
I'm
quarterbacks.
going to say this. I'm going to say this. I don't know all the quarterbacks in Gulfport, but I'm going to say this. He probably the best quarterback, in my opinion,
Yeah,
in
I'm with
Gulfport
you.
history.
I say that all the time. Greg.
People don't
Greg was a man.
really understand how good this man really was.
Yeah. He
And
broke all the school records. He broke all my little records. They
that's
last
what
for
I'm
that.
saying.
He broke all school
he
records,
was-
man. Yeah, he
Man,
definitely-
like, if you just ran your route, the ball was there.
Yep.
You gonna score. Like, we probably scored maybe 42 points a game. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, high school football was great. We made the playoffs every year. Of course, we ran into that juggernaut.
Oh, God.
Oak Grove every year. Every year I was in high school, we lost to them in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
I don't know how that happened, but
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row. Then you want to talk about baseball, man. Like, that's 5 straight district championships. I played in the 8th grade. We made it to the state championship my junior year. Northwest ranking, them boys was tough.
They were real.
they
They
was
still
tough.
got a great program up there now.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go to their field, they got banners from left field to right field all the way across the bay. Them dudes was good. We had some great players. We had a good run. Even my senior year, we ran pretty far, but we ran in the Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
You don't even want to talk about that. But yeah, man, high school sports at Gulfport was good. I think we could have went a little further with some of those teams, especially that football team with Greg Anderson. Man, I think we could have beat South Panola that year. I know people be saying that we probably couldn't, but I really think we could have with the receivers we had. We had myself, Ricardo, Hakeem,
Y'all was
Larry
deep.
Fry.
Chris Norwood.
I mean,
rotation too.
yeah,
It
Chris
was-
Norwood.
It was deep. Y'all was
Man,
deep.
look, and what people don't understand how good Larry Fry was. Like, we ain't even gonna. And your brother too, man. Like, he came off an arm injury.
Yeah, he did his
And,
thing.
and
when
like
he
the
came
first
back.
game, he came back. He scored like 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Like, it was ridiculous. But like that team we had, man, like the fastest receiving core that
Ricardo
you want to
Bolton
see.
was on that team.
Yeah, Ricardo Bolton.
Y'all was deep at receiver.
Man,
Y'all was deep at receiver.
everybody on that team, and that receiver core ran a 4.4, 4.5.
Yeah.
Nobody was no less than that. I really think we probably could have went further, but you know how that go. You run into Oak Grove.
Yeah, Oak Grove, man. Because
Yeah, that's
the
dope.
crazy part was Oak Grove had beat Ocean.
Beat
Ocean Springs beat Oak Grove.
And we beat
y'all
Ocean Springs.
So you
Man.
know y'all was on the same plane.
That Ocean Springs game was probably the most packed high
man.
school football game.
That was it. That game, I wasn't there, but I do
Man.
remember just.
That's the
people
game
talking
your
about
brother scored them touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think he came back
Yeah,
for that
he came
game.
back. He showed
Yep.
did. That definitely was a dope moment, man. So Talk about a little bit. You know, everybody don't get to go to state championships. I mean, we known for a basketball school.
Yeah.
You did get the opportunity to play your junior year. That was a special year. How was that state championship experience?
Man, it's unreal. So even let's talk about before that. So the semifinal game, like just to find South State.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the game winning triple against Warren Central. And I mean, if you ever did something to win the game or something, that's a special moment. But like people called us the cardiac kids. Like we would be losing every game. Every game in the playoffs we was losing and come back and win. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But making it to the state championship, man, like it's an experience like people dream about. Like if you never been to one, then you don't know. And we didn't even win, and I still talk about it right now.
Yeah, it's a great experience.
Like we went there, we played against a team that had a pro guy, 2 Southern Miss commits. So that team was really loaded, I think we had a couple guys play college ball, but man, that state championship, like if you play high school ball, keep working out. That's where you want to be. You want to go there.
Man, so eventually, you know, your high school career comes to an end, man. You know the thing, I never asked you, did you ever have you ended up playing baseball, that's what I'm asking. Did you ever have an opportunity to play football, or you just like, I'm not going, baseball is where the money was, you know, you get drafted.
Listen,
How'd it go? How did it go for you?
I had like 3 football offers, and then I had the baseball stuff working.
Mm-hmm.
And like, man, I started thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm 5'9". I ain't trying to get beat up by them big dudes in college. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna play baseball. Yeah. And then, you know, I out of high school, I went to Southern University, which, man, what happened was Coach Cato, which he probably the greatest
of all time,
the greatest baseball coach. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, even though, you know, it didn't work out there for me, he sold me on just coming there playing baseball. They had Ricky Weeks, who just got drafted number 2 overall right before that. We played the same position. So he was like, man, you could be the next Ricky Weeks.
Oh, so you telling an 18-year-old kid that.
Right, man. So you telling me that, and I'm like, okay. I go home, I tell my mom, and I'm like, you know, at that time I wanted to be a lawyer. He's like, all right, we got this law school, we got this, we got that. I'm like, man, this perfect. And then my mom went there too. Yep. So she kind of was like, you know, like,
so
yeah, she like kind of pushing me there. You know, even though my dad, he played at Alcorn, he like, nah, don't go there.
Yeah, no, he was going.
Yeah, they kind of he kind of sold me on it, man. Like, and to be honest, like, it's a great place, but for me, like, once I got there, it just wasn't the right fit. Like, it felt good in high school though. Like, he was there on Fridays,
right,
watching me play, and I'm still trying to figure out
what I'm gonna do my next year.
Not even that. Like, how is this man in Gulfport, Mississippi on Friday when he got a game Saturday morning?
Yeah, right.
Like, he was making that trip. Like, he really made me feel like that's where I wanted to be. And that, I mean, it's a good place, don't get me wrong, but for me, it just didn't work out. So I ended up transferring to Grambling.
To the rival.
Man, look.
How that worked? He went to a rival school.
Look.
Talk to me.
Listen. So when I left there, I tried to get a release. And he was like, nah, I ain't releasing you. He was like, I ain't letting you go. Yeah. I drove over there. I had a meeting and everything. He ain't even show up. He's like, I ain't letting you go. I was like, man, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
I get there, like, man, my mom was like, you transfer, you going on your own.
Yeah.
I was like, you ain't gonna go with me? She like, nah. And you know, back then they had they didn't have the phones where you could put the address in.
Right.
You had the paper with the directions on.
MapQuest.
You had MapQuest.
You went back.
We had the paper with MapQuest.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
exit like all
so I'm driving on 49 and I'm like, I get all the way to Vicksburg and I'm like, man, I'm finna go home. I'm about to turn around. I call my grandma. She like, don't come back here.
Yeah.
So I ended up going there, and man, to be honest, that was probably the best decision I ever made. My first big decision of my adult life.
Right.
That I made to go there. I struggled because I had to sit out a year because I didn't get released. So my mindset was just like, I didn't know what to do. I'm far away from home. So all I did, man, was I got with Coach James Cooper. And we worked out every day. Yeah. And like right now, James Cooper, he with the Yankees.
Oh, wow.
In the minor league system coaching. But man, we worked out every day. I transformed my body. I transformed my mind. And man, we won a SWAC championship. And that's something they hadn't done in like 15, 20 years. Yeah. But it was it was one of the biggest and best decisions that I ever made.
Okay, high school state championship was one of your biggest moments, and then you talked about the transition in college. As far as a player, what was the biggest moment for you as a player?
Man, so as a player, I would like to say that the moment in high school, but I'm gonna tell you. So transferring from Southern to Grambling, we ended up playing them in the SWAC tournament in 2009. That's the year before we won the championship. So it's the SWAC tournament. 2009 is my first year that I'm eligible to play. So during the regular season, like, man, them dudes, like, they net curveball, the curveball. The catcher was my best friend for them. So he like talking to me. So like it ain't helping. Like, it's not helping. We ended up playing them in the SWAC championship, the semifinals. And man, that whole tournament, I think I might have only got out one time.
So you was rolling.
And we played them. And I'm talking about, I'm hitting balls off the wall. Like, the ball looked like a beach ball. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. And like, man, I think I might have had like 15 hits in like that week. And we played them, and look, we were beating them. We ended up losing the game, man. Like, on something with baseball that hardly ever happened. We up like 8 runs, bro. The last inning, and they come back.
They rallied 9 runs. Come on,
and
man.
won. And you know, like, for me, like, I'm mad the whole time. Like, I'm like, we can't let these dudes come back. They talking to me. Like, while they coming
they
back.
know you. That's why.
Man, dudes hitting home runs. They rounding the base talking to me. Like, they wasn't playing Grambling. They was playing me.
Yeah.
And like, man, for that week, I had a really great week. So that's probably one of the best moments I ever had. But one of the worst moments too, because I mean, all my old friends just won a championship.
They talking crazy to
you. And you know, like,
so you gotta eat it.
So SWAC baseball is not regular baseball. Okay. It's like
they talking.
It's like playing street basketball.
They talking to you.
They talking, like, and ain't nobody said the umpires ain't controlling it. Like, if you can't handle somebody talking to you,
right, you
can't play SWAC baseball. You really can't play SWAC sports.
Right. That's definitely.
Like, the coaches, the players, they talking about your mama.
Everything.
Everybody. Man, if you don't have tough skin, you can't play there. Like,
that's real.
It don't translate, but man, like, that was if I could go back and do that again, man, I probably would. And even take the loss, because the next year we end up winning, which we didn't have to play them, and that's a good thing too. But yeah, that's probably one of the greatest moments.
Man, that's what's up, man. So after your college career, did you have an opportunity to do minor league? You know, is it AA, AAA? What route did you go?
No, so after college, man, I ended up going to grad school at Alcorn. So I ended up coaching baseball.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to pursue it, but man, you know, as an athlete, sometimes you know when it's and it's
everybody don't know that though. Everybody
they know, they do know,
but they
don't want to let it go. You know, like, as an athlete, you know, like, I'm at the top of my baseball career, and it still ain't gonna translate to the next level.
Right.
So I ended up going to Alcorn coaching baseball, and I coached there for a year. Then I came home. I coached softball at Harrison Central.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I coached softball there for a year. Then I did middle school softball. And then after that, man, I was like, I got custody of my kids, so I was like, man, I'm gonna get them into sports. Like, I don't want to be coaching high school sports, and then I don't have time for my own kids. So I was just like, man, I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna go do something else. And then, you know, I was like, I'm gonna put my boys in the sports, right? So I put them in the sports, and like, I'm just a dad now at this point. Like, I'm just watching, and I'm like, man, I'm at practice every day. You know, I'm one of them dads. Like, I'm there. Yeah. Man, I get there, and I'm like, man, these dudes don't know nothing. Like, I can't do it. Like, I'm pulling my hair out up there. So I end up starting my own organization. We did football, basketball, baseball, and of course we had football up until like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. And then, but baseball, man, it grew. So we started with one team. Like, we had one team, and what happened was we had 9 and 10-year-olds. So when I first got into the travel world, you don't know that it's only single age group. I didn't know that. I got like 7 9-year-olds and like 3 10-year-olds. We playing 10-year-old baseball.
gracious.
And like, you know, a bunch of my kids, and see, this the thing too with African American kids. So it's not, baseball is not fun or exciting if you just watching it, right? So for them, like, I'm trying to recruit kids. Like, these kids never played baseball before. I'm like, man, come play for me. You play football for me. It's gonna be fun. Like, I'm trying all kind of things to get these kids to play.
Right.
We finally get a good group of kids, man. Like, and we took some L's. Like,
Took your lumps.
yeah, we took some lumps.
Yeah.
But then that next year, we won the World Series. The next year we won back-to-back, and then I think we lost. But then just this past year, which these kids now are 15, 16 years old, this past year we beat a nationally ranked team in the championship.
Yeah.
Now we ain't nationally ranked, but that's because we not
on the circuit as far as to get
well.
ranked.
When you're dealing with a team that has a lot of African American kids and underprivileged kids, because that's kind of what I started my organization for. You can't afford to. I can't tell these parents, like, look, we're gonna go to Atlanta on the first week of July. Second week of July, we're gonna go to Hoover, Alabama. Third week, we're gonna go to such and such. I can't do that because they won't be able to afford that. Like, it's just out of reach. And you know, to be honest, like, if we had the funds or the means to do that, and I was able to put them kids on the circuit, we probably would be nationally ranked. I mean, we just beat a nationally ranked team in the championship. And not to say that, you know, in the championship game anything can happen, but man, we've been proving over time that we can compete. So
Yeah. So how many World Series? You just three? Y'all got three. This group of kids you got. They
one group
three?
of kids got 3, and then we got another group of kids that got like 1 or 2. So, man, overall, my organization probably has 7 total.
That's what's up.
And that's just kids from the local areas. And then we kind of branch out. So I got some kids from Mobile, Saraland, Alabama. But that's it. Like, we ain't like those national programs that got kids that
and pick people around them.
Yeah, like, we don't have that. Like,
Yeah.
we got kids from the local schools: Gulfport, Harrison Central, Ocean Springs, Goshen. We got one kid from Hancock. My younger teams got some kids from St. Martin and Van Cleve. But that's local. That's pretty much considered local.
Right.
When you start talking about a national level team, that we got local kids. So we do it all with local kids.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. Your coaching career has been pretty well, man. I'm pretty sure there's more to come. Look, like, who got the top 5 on your baseball now?
All right. We got to say Ben Lee.
All right.
Bo Bell.
Gotcha.
Tyler McCabe. How many is that?
3. Holder.
Jonathan Holder, for sure. Jonathan Holder, for sure. And myself. I'm
Absolutely.
on there. I gotta be on the list, man. I gotta be on the list.
You got
Cause
to.
look, you gotta think about this. I think we only won 1 state championship in baseball
85.
with Ben Lee, right? So that's him. Then we went to a state championship when I played. We hadn't been since then.
Yep, that's real. So
And,
you gotta put yourself
and the
out.
other 3 dudes that's on there played on my team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's real good right there.
yeah, so that's got to be the list, man.
Yeah, man, I ain't arguing with it. I don't argue with people's lists. I'm like, hey, that's your list, man. You know, I'm gonna rock with it,
Man,
man.
that list,
Sure.
that list tough though. Like,
It is hard. It's
you
hard
could
to
do, especially in football.
It's hard to do football.
You
It's
almost
hard.
got to have a top 50 at Gulfport.
Yeah. I always do era. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
So-
because
so-
everybody, because look, you gotta think about it on that list too, man. Like on that football list, like the Floyd brothers,
That's where I was coaching them. So
they got to be like top in the receiving.
I was okay. That's what I was saying. Like I was saying, like you had Javon, you had Rashard, and then you had Jonathan Nance. That
Him
was the
too.
3 receivers. That was the 3 receivers we had.
Man,
was
so
coaching.
we was talking about this the other day. Like, so they receiving group against ours. Now them dudes went. Yeah, them dudes they went.
They
Now,
went
you
to
know.
SEC and
Yeah.
swag.
So I was telling somebody like, man, we had a good solid
They
group.
were good.
But they was like, man, I came back home and watched them play one time.
Yeah.
And like the quarterback job was so easy.
Oh man.
All he did was just hike it and throw it. He didn't matter where he threw it. One of the
He gonna
Floyd
get it.
brothers was gone with a touch, or Nance.
Yeah.
Like that was just dangerous.
Shout
like
out to
that.
them boys. Shout out to Floyd and Nance, man.
For
Like
sure.
we was real. And then like we had other guys like that would come in that year, those years when they was those Floyd years, man. We had some horses, man.
Man, that's what I'm saying. That when we talking about the list, man, you still got You still got plenty of players, man. Like it's crazy, but
Yeah, man. Definitely. It's deep, man. Well, look, man, I don't want to hold you all night, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like I got to hear your journey, man. Didn't know a lot of stuff. You brought some light to it, so man, I'm looking forward to seeing your coaching career, how it's gonna shape up, and what's up to come for you.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have to bring me back.
Yeah,
Man. It took
yeah.
long enough to get me on the show.
Man, I had to get you on here,
Look,
man.
you
You know,
gotta bring me
look,
back
hey,
on the
I
show,
promise you,
man.
look, your name is on that list of like my people I want to bring on the show, and I can check you off. I got you on here one time. It won't be the last.
I told you, I seen you one day. I was like, man, you gotta get me.
Yeah.
On the show, man.
I was like, man, it's coming, man. It's coming, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back on the show though.
Yeah,
they,
for sure.
They don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'm
We know what it is.
We know. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
know what
back
it
on the
is,
show.
man. I can't wait to have you back, man.
Oh
But
yeah.
look, yeah, man. Y'all like and subscribe to the show, man. I'm signing out. This Coach Bosh, Bob McClellan, Mr. Coach Barney, man. See you later.
Yeah, Chico, talking to the bad guy. Yeah, Chico. Yeah, Chico, you're talking to the bad guy. Toothpicking your eye. I'm that guy. Hey, y'all. Look, something happened to these, something happened to you, okay?